People like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? You passed the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck in the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible because a real shark is flexible. In my coaching program, I got a concept called the black tie effect. Oh, I wish I had more time. It's called the black tie effect. If you don't own your own tuxedo and go to at least 6 to 10 black tie events in your market, you suck. There's no better way for you to distinguish yourself as a top business leader in your area than to go to black tie events. I didn't say fundraiser. Black tie events attract the top businessmen in your area. And what happens at a black tie event? You sit at a table. And in America, we ask 2 questions. What are those 2 questions? What is your name? And what do you do? What is your name? And what do you do? What would happen in your local marketplace? You became known. Ladies and gentlemen, in 3 years, I doubled my MBA income in the marketplace. You hear what I'm saying? And I've never had a real job, but I got a mindset. Lesson number 1.
Good morning, guys.
For you to get to that next level, here's what you need: information. You need to get information. No offense, I don't even watch TV. CNN don't pay my bills. Okay? Howard don't pay my bills. I don't even watch TV. I might catch a sporting event. Don't get mad about a football game. I love to watch football. But I don't watch TV. Why? It's unproductive, in my opinion. I get 24 hours a day, just like Bill Gates. I get 24 hours a day, just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You get 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do with your 24 hours? You need to get more information. In our coaching program, all we do is drop content nonstop. People like, wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. See, you don't even know what you don't know. How did you let me come from behind and clip you? Do you guys know the studies show the better we look, the more money we make? Which means your website should pass the eyeball test. Your truck should pass the eyeball test. Your people should pass the eyeball test. You should pass the eyeball test. Everybody in this room has a promised land somewhere, but you can't be stuck in the city you like. You got to hear God and go to your promised land. Your promised land might be Utah. Your promised land might be Minnesota. Your promised land might be Wyoming. Hear me clearly. You better use your money to get information and access, and you better be flexible because a real shark is flexible. Can we stop fronting and get real about this thing? And if I can do it, you can do it. I knew nothing about life. I knew nothing about business, but I had the right mindset, and I learned it through sports. And y'all got to hear my story so you understand. I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. At the University of Minnesota, I came off the bench. But in my mind, you can bring me off the bench, but I'm an NBA ball player when you get through talking. When you get through, I'm an NBA ball player. And that's why I would walk around and say, you can't check me. You can't check me. You protect me. If I was you, I would walk around every day and say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I declare it right now. I'm worth millions. I'm worth millions. I will receive my salary right now, but I won't accept it as my value. So whatever you receive right now, receive it, but don't you accept it as your value. Because there's more out here for you if you change your mindset. In my coaching program, I got a concept called the black tie effect. Oh, I wish I had more time. It's called the black tie effect. If you don't own your own tuxedo and go to at least 6 to 10 black tie events in your market, you suck. There's no better way for you to distinguish yourself as a top business leader in your area than to go to black tie events. I didn't say fundraiser. Black tie events attract the top businessmen in your area. And what happens at a black tie event? You sit at the table. In America, we ask 2 questions. What are those 2 questions? What is your name? And what do you do? What is your name? And what do you do? What would happen in your local marketplace? You became known as a philanthropist. What would happen in your local marketplace? You were known as being charitable. What would happen in your local marketplace if all the other business owners who are highly successful not only know your company, but they know you personally? Can I ask you a question? How many black tie events do you go to? When I stopped playing basketball, I had no money coming in. And all I would do is go to black tie events and be around highly successful people. And I would sit at the table. They would ask me my name. The second question I was waiting for. But what do you do? Well, I'm a former NBA player, but now I'm a motivational speaker. And at those black ties, you know, they attract not only successful business people, they attract the good guys too. See, snake business guys who only care about money, they don't go to black tie events. People who go to black tie events care about their community. People who go to black tie events make a difference in their community. Let me tell you something. I noticed right away at the black tie events, these were the successful people that I wanted to know. And I began to build a brand by building relationships with the top business people in my community because I was willing to go to black tie events. There's nothing more important you can do, business owner, than to buy you a tuxedo, to go to black tie events, because everybody in the building is going to ask you your name, and they're going to ask you what you do. What would happen if your company became endeared to your community? Ladies, what better way is it to build the culture? Some of you wives, why don't you drive this? He's busy trying to make money. You drive the charity. You found an organization, and you make sure that your company is synonymous with some philanthropic area in the community. There's nothing better than changing a life. There's nothing better than blessing somebody who's less fortunate. I made a commitment of lifting the spirit of people who were trying to get to that next level. Start your business with charity. There's no better methodology than that. Never forget this. All great brands are built on passion. So before you build your brand, it's not about the color. It's not about the font. All great brands are built on passion. So can I ask you a question? What are you passionate about? See, if you're not passionate about anything, your marketing is going to be ho-hum as well. Does that make sense? You can't build a great brand without passion. Let's take a look at Nike. Phil Knight built Nike and the brand out of passion. He loves to run, and he couldn't find good running shoes. So he said, well, I'll just start a company and make some myself, because a good runner needs to have good shoes. He's built an international brand based on passion. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to think like $1 million person. You can't fake this thing. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You got to be legit in this game. You can't fake it to the NBA. You got to be able to ball out. You got to be able to hoop. You got to be legit. And in business, it's the same way. You got to be legit. So take your money and get some information in your head, and then take some money and get access. I got 3 kids. This is why you got to get access, so you can make life easier for your kids. Well, ain't nobody do nothing for me. Oh, your mindset is jacked up. Ain't nobody do nothing for me, so I ain't gonna do nothing for my kids. You ain't thinking about your legacy. Right now, it's like a track meet. You're running a 4x1, 100-meter dash, 4x1, and your baton is in your hand. And let me tell you something. I want you to run as strong as you can, as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and one day you're gonna get old. One day your knees gonna buckle. And your son gonna be right behind you. Your daughter gonna be right behind you. And at a track meet, they yell, stick. And you gotta make a successful handoff to the athlete in front of you. And that's your son, that's your daughter. So can you do me a favor? You got to get on that track and run because the baton is in your hand right now. And to me, 50 grand ain't enough to live your dreams. To me, 80 grand ain't enough to live your dreams. Who's trying to live in that big house? Who's trying to live in that big car? Who's trying to retire with some real money in the bank? Ladies and gentlemen, the average American only has $1,500 in savings. You're a car accident away from going broke. Hear me closely. Don't sell product. Sell hopes and dreams. Don't sell product. Sell hopes and dreams. Don't sell product again. Sell hopes and dreams. I give myself away and blessings come my way. In your community, be charitable. In your community, be a giver. In your community, get to know the other givers, and I promise you one thing, something's gonna happen to your heart, something's gonna happen to your culture, and the lagging indicator, something's gonna happen to your pocket.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? How's I like that one? You can unmute, don't be afraid.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, that was fire. That was awesome. Right on point. Great.
Glad you liked it. I was like, yes, he's giving some nuggets.
Yes.
Morning.
Those truth.
Morning, Bridge. Afternoon.
Good morning.
Hi, Sandra.
Good morning, Jay.
How you lot doing?
Hello, everyone.
Good
Morning, everybody. Good morning, Jay.
Awesome. I'm so excited this morning. Got a little extra something for you guys. I know some of you guys, yeah, most of you guys I know. Okay, so but I'm gonna start giving this. One second, let me fix that out of that. I'm gonna give a quiz. It's not a quiz, it's just an assessment, really. Okay. And if you guys don't mind, if you could let me see, how do I add the polls assessment? It's just so I can see, it's so I can did you guys get access to it? Do y'all see it? I'm not sure if I did it right. So please let me.
I see it.
Okay, awesome. It won't take you but a second. Just want to see where everybody is, and it's just also so we can plan for the rest of the year. I just want to be able to, give you guys whatever it is that you guys need, so we can kind of make I like plan stuff. I like the plan stuff. If you guys can't tell already, I like projects and stuff. And so yeah, if you guys don't mind, if you could take 2 minutes and fill this out really, really quick. And the special comments or requests are just anything that I didn't ask up here in regards to what you guys want to see, and as far as your level, so I can assess how we can approach, so we can make sure. And it also, like if you are looking at like your teams and things like that, you can put that in that comment section. People that are coming in under you, if you want them to be able to us to have like a one place or an additional place outside of the GFOO lives, and we're not sure exactly how those are going to look for now. And so we just want to fill in the gaps, and so it can be obviously we can do voice dialogue, whereas you can only ask questions in the chat and things like that. But we just want to be able to fill in the gap and make sure our team is strong, thriving, trading, and prosperous. Good morning, Mary. I didn't see yours until just a second ago.
Thank you for that, Bridget. That seems like a great way to start out the year and to get people on track and understand what people are looking for. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to read it. Look at, let's see, how do I read this thing? Okay, okay. All right, so we don't have any newbies today. All right, okay. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. I might have should put entries in there, but we're gonna kind of cover that today. Let's see. Okay, who's not? Hi Graham. I don't know if you heard my request. I know I just let you back in. We're doing a poll, and it's for an assessment to see where everybody is, so we can make a project plan for the year. And I'll probably give this every week. And if you've already done it, you don't have to keep redoing it unless it's something else you want to add. And I'll let you guys know if I like added a new question or something like that on our Saturday trainings. Any questions about the quiz?
No questions.
Okay. All right. If you guys don't mind, since we have a kind of smaller group today, I know some of you guys have already said good morning, but I just want it to be a free and open platform for you guys to be able to ask questions, but we're gonna stay on topic for sure. So I might, if it starts to go in a different direction, I might, I'm certain I'll, drive it back to, where it's supposed to be, because we're having I just want to make sure that you guys are getting what you guys, as far as the questions, get the agenda done, and also your questions. So sometimes we'll save questions for the end, things like that. But I just want to make sure we get through the agenda. Okay, anyone has not completed the quiz? You guys are awesome. Okay, I see you. Okay. All right. So I'll review that a little later. But good morning again. If you would say what your name is and where you're calling in from, and like I said, I want it to be an open platform for you if you want to ask a question that you feel comfortable to do so. Nicole, would you like to start? Oh,
Then I would start. Good morning, everyone. This is Nicole Johnson, and I am in Atlanta, Georgia.
awesome. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lorna Deshay, and I'm also in Atlanta.
Good morning. Thank you, Lorna.
And Sandra Wirt, also in Atlanta.
Good morning, Sandra.
This is. Go ahead.
No, you go. Sorry, go.
Deronda Terrell from Chicago.
Hi, Deronda. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
Good morning. Adam from over the pond in a little place called Leicester in England.
Awesome. I remember I didn't know how to pronounce Leicester. I was just like, what does that spell? And it was like Leicester. I was like, we don't spell it like that.
Say it Leicester.
Right.
Maggie from Australia. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Maggie. Thank you for coming.
I'm Graham from a smaller place in Leicester called Scotland.
Scotland. Welcome, Graham.
I'm Jamel calling from Abu Dhabi. You ready?
Thank you, Jay, for coming.
No worries. It's getting late here.
Good morning. My name is Sadiq and I'm from Atlanta.
Hi, Sadiq. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Good morning. This is Sinette. I'm in Atlanta, but from New York.
Good morning, Sinette. Thank you. Is that everybody? Let me see. Let me see. Anita and Mary, are y'all able to speak? Okay. Oh, good afternoon, Anita. Thank you for coming. And Mary, are you able to speak? I know sometimes I think I've seen you on, sometimes you're at work or no.
Yes, this is Mary. I'm in Texas. Yes, I'm at work as always. As always.
Look,
Trying
for
to be
now,
on the sly.
all right, so moving forward, you're just gonna say for now, I'm just at work. For now, because you about to work. Look, hopefully we're gonna get everybody to a place that is gonna be life changing one day. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Oh, I'm sorry.
I said, amen.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let me share my screen. We're working on a few things. Let me go to the right one. I will present this one. I haven't done the settings yet. Let me see. Do I want to get this one out yet? I found something this morning that was fire, just amazing. It goes along with the strategy. I've been looking for this. Just God is good. How about that? Okay. Okay, so let me just get another tab. Alrighty. SGT. So okay, so this morning, anybody have any special requests outside, and if time permits, we'll go over that at the end.
Not necessarily today, but at some point, my biggest struggle really is trade management, and I've not really found a method that suits me 100% of, I think I'm comfortable with moving to break even, but I really like to look at like where we take partials and profits. So maybe at some point I'd like to look at that.
Okay, yes, absolutely. That can actually be next week. We'll do a full-fledged, like, whole dedication for whatever strategy. That sounds like a great idea, a great place to start. If you don't mind, that's not too late.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of that's some of, like, that is a common thing. You have the best strategy, but if you don't have that risk management under lock, yeah, or you can be, like Manny says, you can be the not so great trader, but if you got a fire risk management system, it'll seem like it's not as bad as you think. A lot of a lot of the hedge funds, they're not even as profitable as some of our strategies, and they're still profitable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any other suggestions or questions or requests before I get started?
I'm still a bit unclear on the waves and what's classified as a wave and what's classified as correction and the entries, I guess. And I have to really work on my psychology, because I really have to stick with just like few pairs. I am absolutely stressed by trying to follow. I mean, it's good for me to be marking up all the charts for the practice purposes to train my eyes, but when it comes to trading, I've been actually having some anxiety this week because I'm just so overwhelmed with all these pairs. So I think what I have to do is just really stick with, I'm gonna probably pick like a gold NAS US 30 and maybe couple, the Forex pairs, but mainly, I'm just having a bit of trouble with the, specific zones. I mean, I know the general idea, but sometimes it's just like, why are they putting that zone here and not here? Right? So that's what I need to work on still.
Okay, sounds good.
And also, Bridge, I was just wondering, like this indicator that you've just done some revision on it. Were you going to share it or not yet?
Not yet, but yes, but we are working on it with a small group, and once we get everything ironed out and updated on the charts, we will release that.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. So it's ever evolving, ever changing. Well, I won't say ever, but this is we've made some really nice additions to the strategy. And let's see. So, okay, so we're going to talk about, let's see, strategy. Okay, so we're going to talk about the strategy again today. I'm going to review the data that you guys put, and thank you again so much for putting the, doing the assessment. I really, really appreciate that. But yes, so we're going to talk about the entries, and I've been fine-tuning that with so like there are several entries that you can do with the strategies, with the basic strategy, right, the 4.0. And so we have I'm going to go to a regular pair, a pair that I don't really trade often, but it will be a Forex pair. Okay. So we're going to talk about the 3 entries options. Okay. First, we know that we always mark up our charts. You just go ahead and have your order blocks, your liquidity blocks in place, and it's always a good idea to have it like depending on the time frame that you're going to trade. So say you're trading on the hour chart, right? And if you're trading on the hour chart, maybe do the daily high and the daily low, and maybe tighten it up maybe with the 4-hour zones for the order flow, so you can see the directional bias and the order flow and directional bias. So if you can see it's going down, you can see those see if it's in the center of maybe like the trading range. So like this one, let me go to a higher time frame. Trash. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to hide them with the little eyeball over here. Hide the indicators. All right. So with this is the 4-hour time frame. And so if I were gonna trade on maybe the hour, right? I'm gonna look at the daily. And so be like, well, is this the daily or is this the daily or whatever? But yes, we see it's going down. Okay, no worries now. Okay. But we're going to, like I said, we're gonna look at the last high. So this is a high, this is a low, but this is since it's making lower lows, oh, keeps getting kicked out. Oh, that's another brand. Okay. Does someone mind typing in the chat for every, if they see me add a new person, they can do the poll, the quiz. But anyway, so this is like the last daily. So we're gonna say this zone and this zone, and we know that so so this is from December. This is the daily. This is like, it's not that far long away, but if you looked at it from this perspective to now, it's really started in October. So this is a nice little zone. So I would say that this probably came down to the 78 or the 61.8. So 60, so 78.4 almost, right? So I already know that that was, that made sense for that. And so now I'm going to go down to the 4-hour and get even closer. So this is my last zone, but it's still within this trading range, and it's in a down trend. So until it breaks either this level or this level, I know it's still in a downtrend, because everything else on the daily is telling me that it's making lower lows. Okay, does that make sense, guys?
100%.
Okay, great. And then so I'm gonna take this zone, and I'm gonna probably change the colors so I can tell. And you can and a good thing to do, guys, is so my old mentor, she used to have colors specific for time frames. So when you look at something at a glance, oh yeah, that's whatever time frame or whatever. So you guys probably already do that, but that's just a little tip to maybe help somebody that might be new. So, yes, so this is still in overall a downtrend. So I'm looking for possible, but I'm sorry, on the daily, I probably would have made sure that it had not been at a low, like an order block, that this last low wasn't at an order block for a reversal. Okay. And so here and here.
Can you explain what you mean? Like what
As far as
like that there wasn't the order block for reversal. What do you
It's an order block, like a reversal zone, like a 5 wave. I know that you mentioned something about the waves.
Oh yeah, these waves, yeah.
5 waves, 7, 9. Typically, they're gonna be 5 Elliott waves. So, or a harmonic in the or harmonic wave. You remember those, right? Those are like the good reversal zones that you're gonna get a really good reverse. So, like typically, reversals. Let's see. Trend changes happen all the time. I hope I'm saying this right, but trend changes happen all the time in the market. But let's see, is it reversals or trend changes? But real deal trend changes, sometimes they happen less often than we think. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. This is NCAD, so y'all remember that for me. I'm gonna do something like U30, and I'm gonna go up to the weekly. And based on the data that we have here, would you guys say it's really just intrinsically just been going up. The only time we had a break of structure is back in 2009. That was like the economy situation, 2008 or whatever. So pull back, it was just regular pullbacks, but it's still going up. And so this overall is a uptrend, but you had some, it doesn't really change like a lot. And so you might have had what could be considered a reversal. I probably have those look at this one right here, where this is probably the crash. This was COVID, and you had another pullback. But overall, this trend has just been going up, and up. And so that's why so many people love to invest in into S&P 500, or same thing with S&P 500, looks pretty much identical, probably NASDAQ as well. But overall, you don't really have, you didn't have something that was up here and then came down here and then like that. I think it was one of the GBPs that did that once. It was, yes, okay, so yes, we had an equal low, and I think the chefs also did something similar. But you had it to come all the way down, and it, broke some highs, came up, and then came back down. But you don't really have a lot of changes in the market, like we like to think. So I mean, so what I meant by reversals is like, this is an order block, nice little order block right here. So it was the NZD USD that we were on, right? Yep. I was in CAD, sorry. Okay. So with that, this is a nice little order block, all right? So it's probably on unless it's at a fib zone, I would be more inclined to think that this was a pullback. But yep, bounced off the 61. Okay. Really, really high time frame. Really. All right, so yep, so it might be still, just came back and it's just gonna find its way down. So anyway, but just as far as the strategy goes, all we're looking for is, I'm just trying to get you in the zone. And this is somebody that's trading on the hourly. So I'm gonna look at this to this, and I'm gonna kind of block out the rest, and I'm gonna try to find I'm going to look more. So I might do, if I do a counter trend trade, I know that those are going to be the buys, that might be coming up because it's already made a choke and it's on its way down, right? So I'm just going to see if there's another opportunity for an entry on the hourly. Does that make sense, guys? So far? So you're in a trend to the downside, and you're just you're waiting to see if you see some, so right here. All right, so so I know now that I am looking for sales, but that was I looked at the higher time frame to get my directional bias. So I know that in this zone right here, and I will do another fib to see where I am in this zone. Where are we? So we're getting close to the 50. So we are in a potential reaction zone. So what I would do is just for my knowledge, I would, just wait to see if I get a reaction off in this area. Okay. And so this is just for to see if I can get a pullback and it comes down here and I pull back or whatever. But let's see. All right, so we know we've gotten chokes, and so that's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5. So we know we're going to get a pullback somewhere up in here, right? So I'm just looking for an entry. So if I'm on my 1 hour, I'm not going to enter on a 1 hour because we see that. Does everyone see based on who in here is not familiar with SGT strategy at all? Zero knowledge. Put a thumbs up in the chat. No thumbs ups. Or you can say it if you can't find it. So everybody's familiar? Okay. All right. So technically speaking, this right here would have been the best entry So your trend line break. And here, right here. So that would have given us a lot of pips, right? We're coming off of this this zone. That would have been, we would have been about 100 or so. And the guy, this probably would have been one of the, this was actually probably a zone that one of the guys probably gave. And you could have just, you know, just drawn your trend lines. And even if you didn't get into this one, and you might have gotten into this one because it was at the zone and you were looking for a, you know, an entry, you could have gotten or been around 100 pips. That's not bad. I mean, you know, of course you want the 600 pip move, 700 pip move, but I mean, 90 pips in a day, that's not a bad day's work, right? And you guys don't have to be so quiet. I like interactive. That's why we did the go.
I would say, yeah, definitely a good day's work, 90 pips, but depends on how many you risked.
Very true. So let's see how many risks you could have risked with this one if you got in.
I'm just a bit quiet because, you know, when I rewatch the replays of some of the training sessions, I've decided that I talk too much sometimes. So I've
I
decided to
understand.
be a little more on the quiet side.
I totally understand. Some questions are necessary, and sometimes, you know, if I totally understand where you're coming from.
I just tend to get carried away.
Well, we appreciate you, Maggie. Okay, so 39 pips at least for this one. Now, if you're trading a strategy and you're looking at it from the entire time frame and you're looking at the zones, you know, looking at it in an order block or whatever, you know that that is the first step. And I probably should change that to liquidity block to be in sync with what Manny said. But right here, you see your order block on the hour. And I'm not going to draw it fancy. It's going to be kind of messy. All right. So we know that we're in the order block, right? We see that. And it's so order, you got a liquidity block here, and you got a you have an extreme, and then you have a decisional right there. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's one. Here's one. But we're just going to mark it up since it's already happened. We're just looking at it. But this is one that would have possibly already been marked up for us, because that's what we do. We mark up our charts, or we look for those ideas. But we don't just look. This is just on the reversal tip. Just on the reversals, we take, but this is best served as a trending once you get into the trend, right? So you have that. And so with that, price came into your zone several times. So you actually could have had several entries, 50 pips here, 40 pips here. Obviously, this was over several days, but this was 93 pips here. And you remember the daily is a very long time sometimes. But a 1 to 2 is kind of, you know, like, you know, but I know you wouldn't have gotten in on the 1 hour, right? But we'll address that in just a second. But just wanted to show you right here. Let me drop a vertical on the entry opportunities. So we know that there's one at the MACD, an entry opportunity here. Okay. And we also like to see the entry opportunity here. I'm going to change that to purple for the ATR. Well, yeah, the ATR, we'll change that one to purple. And that's when the ATR turns from green to red. And so that's an all these can have a signal. Okay. So you have the ATR flip, you have the MACD crossover, which is the main one, but we like to see the ATR. We don't really like to get in before we see the ATR if you can help it. But
What about
then
the
you
trend
see
line?
trend line. That's a break. but that's one of the confirmations.
Okay.
So, and then the third one, we're gonna turn this one to blue. Well, we'll do yellow. Oh, no. Green. Can y'all see that? Okay. Okay, so ATR, purple, yellow is the MACD, and then the triangle, if you get one, is green, okay? So those are, and sometimes they'll happen all at the same time, or two of them will happen at the same time, which we really like when all three of them are in sync. That's like a really good move most of the time. You know,
Sorry,
nothing's 100%.
it was, I thought for sales we had to be below the primary trend line. The
You do, but this is a reversal.
okay, fine. Okay, maybe I
Any-
need to fine tune these
Yeah,
rules.
yeah. It's like whenever you're at a reversal, the rules are kind of like they're not different, but it's just gonna. This is what we found. I used to trade with some guys in the mornings, and we would always like whenever you're in the trend, it's like yay, you know. But it's like when you get to the order blocks or the liquidity block zones. So I had to add some more stuff to help us to identify and to make it easier to see, because you get these after a 5 wave or 7 or you know whatever the Elliott waves complete, and then when you're getting into that ABC correction, or the though you know you got the double tops, the head and shoulders, and all of those patterns that happen on the reversal sides. You sometimes that can happen for a really long time, and your price won't go up under your EMA. And so I was like, that's where, and you would get kind of like stuck into some of the trades, and especially it's more prevalent on the lower time frames that I found. And so let's see. So this was just to kind of alleviate that, if that makes sense. But so once it gets into a zone, this is, I should make sure, thank you for pointing that out, but this is for reversals or order blocks, like reversal zones or whatever, okay? Where you feel like the price, you're not gonna be trading with the trend, the internal trend, I guess I should say. And so we're looking for sales or the realignment of your order flow. And does everyone know what I mean when I say order flow? It's the flow of the market.
And when it actually goes down, that you would expect it to like retrace to some type of imbalance, yes?
Or just wherever, it's just we're expecting it to retrace and continue on to the downflow. I mean, the flow of order is down, and if it was going this way, it would be the order of the flow would be up. And so and we see that this was the pullback right here, and so now we're coming back, and so now coming, because we remember overall downtrend. Remember the daily was going down. Okay. And so now what we're looking for is so right here, we're gonna do a trend line. And we wanted to, give some, a couple of touches, 2 or more, 3 is better, but 2 or more. And so we just extend that out. And if you want to do that extension to the right, so you don't have to draw it extra, you can. But you see how that one would have given you 77 pips. But like Adam said, it depends on the ratio. A lot of times we like to get at minimum a 1 to 3 risk to reward. And so how you can, or let me see, this would have been a little less, a 1 to 1.5. If we would have took it at face value at the ATR or the ATR flip, where the that really helps us with the stop losses. And so what you can do when you're on a higher time frame, it's hard to do once you get to the smaller ones, but I'm going to show you. So you see that that's 52 pips, right? So, you got time because it's a higher time frame. So you're going to drop this down to, let's do the 30. I'm gonna show you how progressively it just drops down. It went from 52 pips to now 35 pips. And if you look at it, it did not break your, with the exception, well, let me see, let me go back to the hour so you can see something. Let me pull this over. So can you guys see where the ATR stayed red? With the exception, I mean, and price did not go through it until it just, that probably was news. Let me see. 2 a.m. It probably was some GBP stuff, shenanigans. But if it wasn't, either way. On the hour chart, that's where it was right here. And so also I'm gonna draw a little vertical line over here at the end of this MACD flip. And we'll turn that to blue. All right. So the beginning of the ATR until, I'm sorry, the beginning of the MACD into the end of the MACD, right? So we're not trying to swing this trade. We're just trying to get some pips, 50 or better pips, because it's the hour. All right. And so I'm looking at it, and let me see if I can achieve that. But like Adam said, 52 pips is where we started for the stop loss. And let me go down to the 30-minute. And so that made it 35 pips. And so that made my risk to reward a 1 to 2. I wouldn't go down if I'm trading on a higher time frame. I probably wouldn't go down, past the 15, but sometimes you can if it's a super strong trend out of volume. Volatility going down. But right here, it went from a 35 pip to 24 pips. So now you have your 1 to 3, and you see how price did not violate the ATR. It just came up, until until right about here, over here, because it was an ATR flip. But I do look at the screens. I always do multiple screens, and so I use multiple time frames in order to see. I would still have the 1 hour up to see what the MACD was doing. And so remember when like this was the entry and this is the exit. Typically you don't get any violations of the of your stop losses being hit with the ATR when you're trailing it with that. But for the most part, so I typically will just use we've been using the ATR trailing stop loss on the trade manager. Adam, do you know if the trade assistant will allow you to trail it with your trail your stops with the ATR or indicators, or what are their options for that? Is it just pips?
I'm not an expert on it because I use fairly basic functionality on it, but there's a lot of options where you can trail, and then you can trail up moving averages and things like that. So there's quite a lot of in-depth stuff, but I'm not an expert, so I couldn't say whether you could follow the ATR or not.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we've used that with this, and some pretty good results. And so, but even if you wanted to use the last high, the higher lows and stuff like that, that's another good option, at least on the trade manager, if ATR, or you can just manually, follow your trade. But yeah, just as far as getting a tighter stop loss, at least go down on the, the time frame that you're looking at, just drop down to maybe the 30 and see what that ATR looks like, where the ATR is. And so I probably would have stuck with this one. And yeah, I probably would have only got, but at the end of the day, I still would have only got 30 pips because it pulled back. But I would be okay with that because I would have been trailing my stop. And we're the Adam, like risk management stuff next week. So I probably shouldn't go down that rabbit trail too much. So I don't get off subject. But yeah, I'll save that for then. But I'm gonna stick to let me back and really just focus on the entries. Okay. All right. So but yeah, so that's how I get a tighter stop loss. And this wasn't the best example, but for the most part, if I show you another one, I use my ATR right here. I entered at this one and got in here, but let me finish this one, the entry. Okay, so the entry options are ATR flip, the second entry option is MACD flip, and then the third one is the triangle if it's available. Okay. But it's always, the triangle is pretty good, especially that one's really good. But some of these will overlap and you'll have them at the same time. Like this one where like this one right here is MACD and ATR, but the triangle happened later. Okay. So then I would so once I got my alert for the ATR, and does everyone know how to set their ATR for their alert for the ATR?
I do now.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do? Okay.
You finally told me that week.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make sure. Let's see.
Can you
So
repeat
yes.
remind?
Yes, so okay, so I'll just go for, just go through it just, because it's recorded, and I'll just make sure that, somebody else new might see it later. So I'm gonna say add an alert, and I'm gonna go to SGT, bearish, trend change. Okay, so for the ATR flip, it's trend change, or you can use up to downtrend, uptrend to downtrend, or downtrend to uptrend, but you'll have to set 2 alerts. Okay. And then I don't use this one, but if you really want to know, I'll type it up somewhere, just plug it in there. Yes, that's very true, Mary. And so I will but I usually will have another tab open with the MACD 4C, and but usually this is on my blank chart with nothing on it, the one that I draw up my order blocks and stuff like that. It doesn't have any other alerts on it or anything, or indicators, but but for this one, the MACD 4C, you have to do 0 line first. MACD 4C and plot, crossing, 0 line, crossing, plot. Okay. And then, once per bar close, because you don't want to do once, because it's going to give you every time, or once per bar, you don't want to do once per bar because it'll just, every time it starts, because sometimes it'll start to do it, then it'll pull back and not, cross over. So I like to, this is essentially the same as this one, but you'd be like, why do we use this other one, the Rigel MACD? And it's because we like the divergence that it gives. It shows us divergence. That's what these lines are. So from this peak to this peak is showing me that there is divergence. And so see how the market started to actually drop off, or it actually, did start giving a good pullback from that point on. And so, and even right here, this one to this one is not really, it's not that great of a divergence, but it did, continue to push up. But like I said, this one was the one that really showed us, like in all of this consolidation, that price would definitely was about to reverse on us. It gave us that big push down. Do y'all see that? The other ones were just minor pullbacks, like, little ones. But from here to here, this peak to this peak, that was a good one. Those are really good. This one to this one, little hidden divergence. You got a little move to the downside, but it wasn't major. And then if you're looking for the, the buys, that's when you're this one, this peak to this peak. This was the hidden divergence. Well, and it just gave us that push to the downside. So I really love this one. Once I don't know if you guys clicked anything about like divergence or anything, but divergence is really powerful when it comes to trading. We do have another. Oh,
That's a learning book. That seems to be a learning block, but looking forward to really understanding it.
Awesome. Yes, and so right here, yeah, so this is where we started to get the good move, but all these other ones were just baby moves, but they, yet still you got a good move. This one, you might have gotten, knocked out right here, but you got you about 30 pips, and you'd have been like a 1-to-1 or something like that. That's if you didn't move your stop loss at all, it would have just, from your entry, you would have definitely still been in, and you'd have just taken it all the way down. And then, yeah, so there were several re-entries, and so I'm gonna look at that. So we know that we're looking for, and does everybody remember that we're looking for sales? Does everybody remember that, and why we're looking for sales? Do y'all remember why?
Because your overall trend is still down.
Yes.
Still creating lower lows.
Yes, and we want to trade with the trend if at all possible. And if we trade against the trend, which is fine especially on the higher time frame, or if you're only looking for a small amount of pips, we can do that, but you need to be aware of that. Like right here, even though 60 pips that's all right. You know what I mean? But if you are, but if you think that it's going to continue up, you're going to be kind of sad when it pulls back on you, when you could have taken it at this liquidity block, if that makes sense, high, before it pulled back. And so y'all ever been in a trade and be like, yeah, I'm make all the money, you making plans for your new car and this trip you're gonna go on? Huh?
No, you didn't go there.
Yeah, be like, I got all the pips, and so you got plan. You about to put it. You writing your notice as you speak, and then
that has happened to me. They used
exactly. I understand. I totally understand. And so and until, but then you didn't notice the signs, and like, oh, so you gotta you got a crossover that told you to get out. It's like a movie, get out. And then, but you didn't get out. And then you even got a ATR flip that told you to get out. Now, like, it's just pulling back and it's back to your entry, or worse, it hits your stop loss. And it goes back to hit your stop loss and you're negative. And so protecting the pips is very important. So Adam, I'm super glad that you asked about that one. So we definitely will be doing that next week. So yeah, so managing the trade, especially when you're in a counter trend move, and maybe like even have special rules of what we've been looking at. And you know, we're, like I said, we have a little small test group, but we're writing rules out for counter trend, trailing stops, and you know, or you know, trade management. And we're working on the other, you know, just regular trade management, because it needs to be different. It doesn't need to be like, so if your trade management is to take a partial at 20 pips or every 20 pips, it might not need to be that way on a counter trend move. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see. All right, so you can look at, like I said, you can look at here, your alert will go off here, here, and here. Sandra, you might have to help me with telling me which one is for the arrow.
It's the long alert and short alert.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Long alert and short alert. That's the one for the arrow. That's if you want that one. But that's a lot of alerts if you have multiple pairs, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, but just choose wisely. You don't have to have all of them, you know, but it's your personal preference. And then you got to think about the different time frames that you may be trading on. Okay, so you got your alerts. I showed you the entries, but let me give you another example of a continuation. So this one is this is the one that was going, yeah, this one's the one that was going up, right? So you came down to that area. You have a choke, a nice little choke, and it pulled back to your entry. Really nice price model. And then you want to say, oh, I didn't get in, I missed my entry. There's always an entry, guys. There's always an entry. It's like whenever they would say it, I was like, unless it was some news, it's like there are 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get another entry. You just need an entry strategy outside of just the smart, not you know, the smart monics. But if you don't know how to read the pullbacks and the reversals, and the way I started to understand order flow, it helped me out tremendously with, you know, the trading. Because I don't know if y'all remember that little analogy that Manny used to do. He'd be like, you're in, get out in time, it's pulling back, and every time you get in, it's just like, yeah. I was talking to someone yesterday, and it was like somebody's in your head. But I used like the market makers are watching my computer. I thought my computer was bugged, all kinds of stuff, because it just seemed like every time I would get in, it would go the complete opposite. I'm like, man, this is crazy, and I almost gave up. I'm glad I didn't, but yeah. So but yeah, so right here, the realignment is so important. So when you get that little choke going back up to the upside, that's so powerful. So depending on the highs and lows on the, you know, it coming, you know, price coming back down and it making its little wave, 5-wave, 3-wave, whatever it is, when it's coming back on the counter trend, when you get that counter trend choke or realignment is the one that I was learning from about order flow. That was so powerful. So after you get that realignment, you know, price made the choke going back to the upside. I'm looking for, if I didn't happen to get this break and retest situation right here, or mitigation block, depending on what, you know, how you study or how you learn. This is a break and retest, literally. Boom, boom, or mitigation block. Right. And so I get it if I miss this one, or you have some consolidation or some volume here, or you know, if it's the 61.8, there's lots of confluences and things that you can use to be able to see it or to tell you that, yeah, this is a good zone, right? But then, so price is starting to push back up, and this is where we get in, but we sometimes we get lost if you miss this entry. Have y'all ever felt like that? If y'all miss some of the guys, like the calls or some of the zones that they have, you felt like,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I just keep scrolling. I'm like, let me see if they have something more recent. And I'm like, oh, well, there's another day.
Right. And so I like with the strategy, that you can find another entry.
Yes, for sure.
And so, yes, and so, right here on this first, it's like a double bottom, right? And then so there are multiple pullbacks within here. So you got this one, that's a small one, push up. There are some within it, but I'm just gonna talk about this one. Okay, so this is basically this model right here. I'm just gonna move here. See that? So this little order block or whatever, break and retest, comes back, and here is my entry. Maybe typically you would get like an opportunity to get back in right here, but this probably was some news, or yep, 8 o'clock. We know that's a common time for news. Are we right? Let me see. Hold on. Graham, are you following, or you're good? You have any questions?
No, okay.
Okay, good deal. All right. So, but usually you will get this this same setup, but in the event that you have news, sometimes that's just not gonna happen. You won't get that setup. But this is our break of structure. So we know that we're going to continue on to the upside, but this one literally is that same model that we just looked at. So this break and retest, and so we look at this order block. But sometimes most of the time you'll get like an entry right about here to get it, get this move, but you missed that one. So we're just waiting for the break and retest. All right. So we see that it comes back to our order block. What are we going to do? We're going to do a trend line break. We're going to do our trend line. All right. And it broke through. Let's draw our 3 entry ops. Okay, so this was the first alert. And I know I probably got these colors off, but don't shoot me, okay? So this one is the arrow. This one is the MACD. And this one is the ATR. This one wasn't quite ready, was it? The ATR flip. Do y'all see that? Did I do that at red or something? What was that? I wanted a different color. Okay. So, but y'all see the three signals that will indicate, or that you have an opportunity to be like, okay, I might want to start looking at, buys.
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at each one of them individually. So you got this ATR flip. We love to see that because we know that that's a possible trend change. But why wouldn't we have taken this? Let's look at it closer. All right. So we like, oh, okay, I drew my trend line break. But this was an equal high. It did not give me even a choke. Really did not give me my choke. It was not realigning. And so that would, and I also, at that point, I still was basically in the downtrend based on the MACD. Okay. So this one would have been like, I know it's getting ready, so I'm not going to ignore it, but I'm just going to I'm gonna pay attention. So like several hours later, this happens on any time frame, guys, any time frame. But as you're looking at it, I just wanted you to be able to see it. So, all right, so now you see the price, my trend line is not, it went up a little higher, so I'm gonna readjust it and extend it out. You don't have to do that, but it's always better when it goes, farther, so you can actually see when it actually breaks. So you don't have to keep redrawing it, but you can just adjust it every now and again. So a couple of hours later, you had to pull up, pull back, pull up. Oh, another alert. So yes, we like the MACD alert because we know that's the original OG. So we look at that. So you could enter for sure because 2 of those have already happened. You could enter here, but it's just like this is not the best entry. So like it would have, went up later, but that's just too long to sit in there. So the trend line break and a couple of the other alert entry ops. And you also see down here on the MACD where you have some divergence from this one to this peak. Oh, wait. Oh, this peak. Okay, wait. Here we go. Okay, so from here to here, and if anybody ever had, if you were like trying to figure out like where your zone, if it's actually negative, positive, you can actually use this little info line. It's called info line, and it'll actually give you negative or positive. It'll give you the angle. And so you can see this one, or you can draw it again. You just want to see if you can't tell if that's down or not, and you can kind of zoom in so you can actually see what this is giving. Negative 47. Okay. -6, sorry. So, but anyway, do y'all see how to use that little line? I like the little line. So, because sometimes it's hard to see. But anyway, from here to here, that's hidden divergence. That's equal, and then this is negative, going negative. So this is telling me this is a continuation. This is giving me the continuation vibe. So, but I see that did happen like later. But yeah, still, what it does is it tracks it. It typically will track it. It'll be like a dotted line, and then once it becomes solid, down here, that's when it solidifies. Okay. On most of the settings, but you have to, if it does something different, let me know, because but in the settings you have those options. Okay. But as it's forming, it usually gives you like a dotted line, and then when it sits set, then it becomes solid. Let's see. So anyway, so now I am looking at right here. So this would have been my ideal entry because of this ATR flip, the MACD, and my trend line break. And then also right around the same time, I did finally get an arrow, but I would have taken it either at this after this one closed right here at 6 p.m. or the next candle, the 7 p.m. or the 8 p.m. candle. Either one of those would have been great. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody not see that?
And it also confirms with the waves being both green and the separation at that point.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. And let me bring over the rules so they can see that. Okay, so you had this realignment. You already you have this realignment where this was the low. Didn't quite get your choke right there, but everything else was giving. But on the pullbacks, it's much easier to identify an entry than when you're in the consolidation zone. You'll get some pips, but you know, it'll be a little bit different. So you got 119, 28 pips to 119. It's about a 1 to 4. Of course, you didn't know how far it was going to go up, but you could have looked to the left and had a goal of up here with target zones in, you know, close by. So like this little volume right here, consolidation right here. If you drew your volume bar, you just saw that. And then up here could have been like TP3. But yeah, so this would have been a possible and then if you wanted to stack it, you could have let you know, taken partials, and like I said, we'll talk about that next week. And then when it pulls back, it you know, you're still in the trade, you're at break even just in case something happens. And you know, if you once you get that realignment, there's another opportunity to enter trend line break, ATR, your MACD, and your arrow. Ooh, oh. Arrow happened much later. Y'all see that? But it's still valid. Yeah, it's okay. I like for at least two things to, especially once I've gotten my trend line break. Like I said, it's not 100% strategy, but it is very high probable.
Once you've entered the first time and say you have more of the checklist at that initial entry, and then looking to go back again, can you have less of the checkpoints because you've initially gotten more checkpoints? Does that make sense?
Okay, so this could have been, you probably would have entered maybe like not on this one because it was still red. I would have entered when it's still red down here. And yeah, I like to wait at least for the MACD and the ATR flip. Those are two good ones. But depending on what you're trading, and Sandra, I don't know if you want to chime in. I know that you typically use you like to use the arrow confirmation on a lot of them. What your experience is with that, but yeah. So this crossover is probably where I would have gotten in. Then are you saying like where this one or this pullback?
Okay, so initially, so you would have gotten in on the yellow.
Yes, I would probably got somewhere along there.
So with that one, you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4 checkpoints, 5?
Let's see. We would have had this aura. This was just a minute, you know, break and retest. It came back a little bit farther. But it looks like it came to my 61.8. I know I don't have a Fibonacci thing up there, but y'all know that that's a powerful one. It came to my 61.8 and it did my trend line break. It did not give me my change of character, at least on the higher time frame. Like over here on this previous one, you probably got you definitely had a choke on this on the lower time frame. Does that make sense? This was an hour chart.
So on the lower time frame, we had more of the checkpoints.
Oh, you would have had more entries on the lower time frame. I'm just showing you I'm trying not to confuse you. just trying to show you at least on one, just looking at one. And then once you get mastered this part, then you start looking at the other ones and for stacking or whatever. But I know I needed to talk to you guys about entries for sure. It might take another session, but once you master this, it's so easy. Right.
This 1 hour, you would have entered on the yellow or the blue, waited for the blue vertical.
This one, I would have gotten in on the yellow and then probably I could have gotten in on the blue one, but I probably wouldn't have because it happened so much farther down. But I just tend to not just. I mean, I do like them when they happen right around and at the opening, but I prefer them once the ATR and the MACD has flipped to green, and I start seeing all of the other stuff. So we got the trend line price being above the EMA primary trend line. We have replay. We have price being above the POC. We have the bear circle. I'm sorry, the bull circle. We have the ATR. Well, the ATR is in an interesting place. So we see the yellow line. We're looking at the yellow line. Even though they're not in control, like with the white above the blue line and the green above the blue line, the buyers are still in control overall, if that makes sense. But it's not a strong trend. We just know it's gonna be a little bit of a pullback. And probably so we didn't really have we had it, but it wasn't the alligator mouth, but the buyers were still overall above.
Okay.
And then we had ATR flip that had already happened, the primary trend. We had the EMA separation. It had already separated. Well, it's starting to separate right there. You see the crossover happening right there. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the trend table at that time is what? Powerfully going up to the upside. Okay. And regular divergence. And that is a go for the buy to sell. I'm looking down here, from here to here is divergence. And so I'm looking for the buy. And it gave me a divergence label here as well. So I'm looking for it to go up. So yeah, I would have definitely taken one, but I could have taken that any candle after that. But for the most part, I would have taken that one. But this one is kind of like, I'm already in, and unless I drop down to a lower time frame to get a stack, I probably wouldn't have taken that hour chart right there. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You have to be careful not to shop time frames too much.
So in terms of order entry, so you've got your signal there, but price is a little bit consolidated. I mean, you could obviously from a price action point of view, it could come back and fill in balance. Would you consider market execution straight in, or could you consider like a buy stop to wait for price to maybe break above the candle to get a bit of extra confidence?
Like right here, like a choke or something. If you were doing you were waiting for it to break the choke or something, or
So where your entries there with the bull circle and the yellow line, obviously saying, yeah, we're going to get in there, we're going to enter. But would you, once that candle closes, would you enter straight away, or would it be feasible to perhaps have a buy stop just above the candle?
You actually could.
Yeah. I've done that a few times, and it can save, because if it, sometimes when you enter it, you get an immediate drawdown, and it's like really frustrating.
It makes you nervous.
Yeah. So, but if you've got a buy stop, effectively it's the same order. If you maybe lose 3 or 4 pips because you've got to put your buy a little bit higher, but it can save you the stress until it actually breaks the high.
Yes. And so like with this one, the bodies, you did technically get a little choke, right above it. So this was a really good one. You know what I mean? And so putting it above, whether you want to lose a couple of pips here, that's fine. And to keep you out of some consolidation, that is totally fine, 100%. So I definitely don't blame you if you were to do that. So yeah, you could put it maybe above maybe your buy stop here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then price just play with your emotions some more. If you would have been already in, but not no more because you got in here and well, darn, look at that.
That's trading, but
yeah. Oh, there you go. And on the lower time frame, this is like probably 5 or 6 entries. Let me see if it'll stay. So buy here, well, that was that one. This was a good entry. Let's see, this one was a good entry. This one was, I probably would have taken this one even though it was an entry right here, because I don't like the consolidation and where these candles were. I just see how it was. I would have just boxed up the price. I see how it was consolidating, but you could have gotten an entry over there. Yeah. And when price is kind of like hovering over, don't forget that, guys. You're welcome. And then don't forget the POC line whenever it's prices going between here. It's just consolidation most of the time until you start to get that separation of the waves, as well as coming away from here. It's really messy. Now you get it. See the waves? Beautiful. So I would have been more inclined to take this one. This one. This is a 15-minute. Probably could have gotten another entry in just a second. Yep, right there. Well, that one was a full confirmation. Sorry, I didn't see the arrow. Yep, now we're at the reversal, so sorry. No, that was a full-blown pullback. Dang. Okay, so pause. Let me show you. Okay, so remember we were on the hour and I would drop down to see where the other opportunities were, right? So you had the trend line break, you had an ATR flip, you had the MACD right here, and then you had the arrow. You could have taken it here, here, or here, and you're like, where do I take it? Trend line break, give an average, sometimes, but you just want 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got the break. The best place would have been over here, even though all of this other stuff happened. You had that flip, but because it was just a mess and it was running through my POC, I would have waited for the trend line break. The trend line break is so powerful, guys. You could have gotten how many pips? Probably not that many.
So it's so powerful that price even came back and retested your trend line.
Yeah, it's kind of like, let me see. Oh yeah, for sure. Um, and it came back to that little order block or or breaker block. I'm not sure what he called it, but yeah. So yes, so that would have been just a couple of pips, but like you said, it was, if you didn't move your stop loss, you would definitely be okay. But overall, you would have that could have like, let's see, it was this one. I'm glad that this one's really messy because it's all the questions that you guys would have if you didn't have me like calling out the trade idea. If you're just looking at the strategy. But this is how I see it when it's happening. I'm looking at the consolidation. If there's consolidation, I try to just not take that. I try to box it up or do a wedge or something like that. So like if you're looking at the market from the perspective of outside, you got this wedge. This is a legitimate wedge, if you see. And what happens in uptrend wedges, you get a breakout typically. But now you actually see, like you said, you got a break and a retest. So price broke out, and then this just gave you another opportunity to get in. So that would have been a nice move too. And do y'all see anything? I mean, am I showing you anything or any other things to consider? Or what are your struggles whenever you do get a smart money trade and it doesn't do what you think it's going to do?
I don't think when I face that, it's anything about the strategy. It's just me overlooking something.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say, especially when you know, on the high time frame, it's better because you've got all this time. Certainly when you're trying to trade like minute and 5 minute, it's certainly when it doesn't quite work out and you think, oh, there's a trade. It's normally because, yeah, you missed something. So it's just concentrating to make sure you tick all the boxes of your rules.
Yeah. And also, once you get your risk management rules in order or, in place or whatever, it'll help you because you're going to win more than you lose, because even when these trades over here kind of pull back on you, this one didn't. That one was a great one, but even back here, let's see. But the opportunity you saw, well, I know we're on the hour chart, so hold on, let me go back, be fair. Right here, that one was actually a good one, but we see that it still pulled back. And right here, it gave us a bit of consolidation and, even with pullbacks. So the trend line breaks are really powerful, but I just wanted to make sure that I was, being something, as clear as I could to show you like where the opportunities. Now what I can do is to simplify it, is to be like, okay, if the MACD, if you want to simplify it and make it your rules for your back testing, what I would do is I would take something like, let's go to another pair. Oh, that looks decent. Okay, so that one's in a zone. So like something like this, right? So you're looking at it and you just need to make some rules, like whatever the pairs that you're trading, like you see that there is a triangle here. And there's a green triangle here, but I don't really see an ATR flip that happened, right? So for every triangle, but this was actually a decent, but because I didn't see an ATR flip, but I do see the green. I don't really physically, I guess it happened too fast and it just didn't draw or whatever, but it started it. where the ATR flipped, you got this, but boom. So that break and retest, I mean, not break and retest, but that trend line break, this vertical with MACD, you could have gotten anywhere after that and it would have been fine, but that was just a continuation move, right?
Mhm.
Really good entry. But if I were to zone in and go down to the 15-minute or 5-minute chart, there's an absolute entry. You'll see your triangles pop back up. Tighten your entry up. Very good entry. So after that trend line broke, you would start seeing, you saw that candle broke it, price broke it, and boom. So on the lower time frame, even though you didn't see all the elements of, some of the things that you would see on your list, when you drop it down to a lower time frame, you actually see them. Do y'all see that?
Yes.
Now, what I found, I'm going to share with you guys, fresh off the press. I'm still, you can play around with this. I don't know, it might help you out in some of your other strategies, but I thought it was very powerful and it's awesome. I don't have to draw this the trend lines, they kind of become a little cumbersome. Trend lines with breaks on Lux Algo. Just let me know what you think. I was like, what? Look at this, guys. It's drawing baby trend lines. You can make them whatever colors you want. So if I was looking to take,
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
real
is.
cool. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Look at that.
and I know. I was just saw this morning. I was like, thank you, Lord. Like, okay. So trend line break with Algo, 17,000 people. Yep. Still playing with the settings. I don't think did I change anything? Oh yeah, no, I did see that the ATR, this one's the standard deviation and the line regular, they didn't seem right. Well, but whatever you decide, just, keep that in mind. But if I find anything on here that would help us with the settings, I will definitely pass it along, once I release the other strategy. But I just thought this was too good to just wait to show you guys, because this can help you out with your naked trading or whatever, because it's just a trend line, right?
But you can also, looking at it, you can also set an alert for a break of that trend line as well.
I wonder, let's look.
You go onto it, you can have a downward breakout or a upward breakout.
Oh, that's what I haven't even had it looked at it that long. Let me see.
That's the first thing I looked at. I thought that's amazing. If you could set an alert, then you could literally just wait for your alert.
Yes. I was about to ask Florence, it was like, man, can you make one of these? But it's already made. I was like, okay. Let's see, because there are a lot of them out there. Where are my alerts? Why won't it let me put an alert on the am I overlooking? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so alert. Okay, so let's see what Adam's talking about. Let's see. Lux Algo. Oh, that's beautiful. Just beautiful. Yes, sir. And then that's powerful. So you don't have to keep drawing them. So let me show you. I had to double check before the session just to make sure that when they would pop up and how you would see them, because sometimes it just like they'll come up afterwards. I was like, what good is that gonna do me? And it's like the other divergence, it's kind of like dot 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 before, you know, like right now, like look at that, like Friday is still waiting for that trend line break or it to break out. It's just like it'll draw a trend line here and here. And the craziest thing, I can't believe that Lux left the code open. I'm so surprised, but he did. So, but yeah, you got this baby trend line inside. Let's see, let me double check. Yeah. Oh, well, no, it's just these right here. So yeah, trend line break, all your, and then if you're looking at the strategy, I know I don't have the colors right, so just, okay. But look at that, the MACD crossover. Boom, I'm in for a few pips. 57 pips, so do me fine. I'll be all right. What do y'all think? Less work.
Oh, yeah.
Work smarter, not harder. Yes, I just can't wait to get to this part, guys, to show y'all. I'm just so excited.
You had to deal with me with the other part, but this is the exciting part. The exciting
Yes. Yes. So 165, and this is a 15-minute, but I don't know. Do y'all like what y'all see? I mean, with this indicator, are y'all excited?
Yeah. Yes, that is wonderful.
I know it's wrong, but I'm thinking that's one up to that impulse strategy because they have the automatic trend lines, and now we've got it.
Oh, they do. Oh, okay. I didn't know they did that. Oh, Dr. Lee is just he's an innovative guy. Let's see. Dr. Lee, right? Impulse, right?
Yeah.
I like Dr. Lee. He's just so consistent. You could always count on what Dr. Lee about to do. You knew the order of service. Yeah, it was just great. But yeah, this is like a typical, so now you don't have to worry about, let me show you this real quick. Okay, so that hasn't happened yet, right? So this is what that's looking like. So I'm just trying to see, I got my order block. I don't know why that's there. I'm just gonna ignore that. Play. And since the order flow is up, I'm looking for a buy. So it's above my POC. I got my MACD alert. I got my trend line. I got my flip, and boom, I'm in. I'm in. Y'all see that? And it just as it goes, as price. Do y'all see that? I mean, I'm just saying. This is. I don't know.
I can't wait for Monday. Or better yet, I might be doing some testing on some crypto tonight.
Yeah, you can do that, for sure. But yes, also you can do some back testing stuff. Does anyone have any questions concerning the three alerts that you're looking at? You're gonna combine them, or you want at least you want it to change change over, but with this trend line, you don't even have to draw it out, you can wait till after that break. And like Adam was saying, if you use software, break above it. And let's see.
You know what else is quite good? Because trend lines are very subjective, aren't they?
Yes.
Whereas these obviously have an algorithm, so it's not like it's subjective because it has to go by the exact algorithmic calculation. So it's going to add consistency to your trend line strategy as well.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. Let me go back a little bit. And even when we draw them, they're still subjective, it's like, because you'll have to you saw me earlier readjust it, you could have put in it. Okay, so let me just draw it right here. This is a trend line, a valid, straight up valid trend line, right? Okay, hit 1, 2, 3, break. that's early, right? But I got basically all of this, but if you were still waiting for the ATR to flip, there you go. That's why it's in line with our ATR, guys. So be careful with that. Okay, so it flips with your ATR. So that's how it's working, at least on that one now. It has a standard deviation one, but this is basically our ATR. Oh, standard deviation, ATR. And you can change this swing detection look back. And then if you want to learn, what I would encourage you guys to do, if you don't want to use it, just kind of want to see if it's something for you. It might not be anything for you, okay? But I see myself, foresee myself definitely using this. I would definitely read this I just thought he did such a great job on utilizing it, how it actually draws it up. And so you see like it's dot 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 until it breaks through. And so any valid trend lines can be used with any valid trend line methodologies can be used with this indicator to identify breakouts for future price movements. But anyway, I just thought it gives you like a rundown between the three differences and stuff. So yeah, I just thought it was pretty powerful.
Thank you for sharing.
You're so welcome. Hot, fresh off the press.
Mhm.
Yes, and so I just thought it was pretty good. But anyway, does anyone have any questions this morning?
Not for me.
No.
You're so very welcome, guys. Yep.
Yeah, no,
All
thank
right.
you. We appreciate you.
Yep. No, my pleasure, my pleasure. And I'm gonna I don't know if there's a leadership call today. We haven't really heard from Manny today. He's probably still trying to get his house in order. I don't know how it is when you're moving. So yeah. But yeah, but if I hear of anything, I'll definitely drop it in the chat, or I'm sure if Lee or any of the other guys they see anything, they will drop it in the chat. So but anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And like I said, we'll go over like if you want to send me your markups. Did you guys want to go over real quick like the lower time frame entries on the more volatile ones? Or if not, we'll end it right here.
Sure.
Okay.
And
Anybody that if you can't stay, I totally understand. But yeah, so we're gonna go to, let's see, maybe gold. I cannot wait to let's see what US 30 is looking like. Sorry. Let me see. Mm, mm, mm. 5 minute. We go down to 1 minute. So it's beautiful. Okay, so let's look. Let's drop a vertical here. This is a continuation, not a reversal. How do we know it's a continuation? Because it's very, pullbacks, and it's just, that was probably a wave on a higher time frame, maybe the 5 or something. And this is the impulse. This is the contraction. This is the impulse, contraction, impulse, right? And this one, yeah. So let's go over to this one. Or the better one would have been this one, but we'll just start right here, okay? Because you got the realignment, you got your choke, and we know we're still on this impulse because it hasn't even broken the top of this the high over here. Okay. So we're getting in on this. So let's do our checkpoints. Does it come to another area of structure? Yes. Where's that at? Over here. Break in, come back right here. And also at this little baby one right here. Y'all see that? This is the 1 minute. I was marking up my charts. I know somebody asked me like, how long do I stay on the chart? Sometimes a really, really long time, but I'm doing other stuff, for people or whatever. But I'm gonna show y'all something. I thought it was pretty interesting. But yeah, so red, green. Okay, so buy. Okay, so I'm gonna drop another one. That's the MACD. I'm just gonna keep them all the same color. Y'all know it's 3 entry ops. That's the triangle. And here we go. That's one of the ones I was talking about, guys. So remember the triangle and the ATR is moving at the same time. You got the flip at the same time. Remember, we really like those. But this one right here. So you got the trend line break. Let's do a replay. See what everything's looking like. So we got our dot, and POC, prices above our POC. So we're definitely looking for buys in this continuation trade. We're looking for, what is it? The EMA, primary prices above the primary EMA, and it's doing a buy. All right, and so now we're looking for this to come above our trend line and see how we can get on in right now. There we go. Y'all see that? You could have gotten in at this one or this one. Totally fine. Drop a vertical, I'm not a vertical, but a toolbar. And you look to the left to see, anticipate, okay, on a higher time frame, all right?
Does the dotted line mean that it's forming?
Forming, yes. But you see how it was. You see how it had not crossed over, but because it did this break and it pushed down, that was the red one. As the candles are forming, it's got the first point. And so it's just waiting for a price to break above here for it to be a valid buy.
I see.
And also this is saying sell, the trend line is saying sell, like the price is below the trend line. You see the dots is still below, and we're just looking, we know that this is the retest, because if we were on a higher time frame, we would see that this is a valid uptrend. All right. So red, we know that this is a retest. We're just looking for this. Boom. That's where we're looking to get in. All right, so let's go. Hasn't turned solid yet. Okay, boom. So price broke above it. You see that? And that's what we're looking at. We're excited. We're excited. And you see how it's got that little oh, wow, it's got the support and resistance, looks like a little bit. At least the last high, like almost kind of like a choke or something, or a break of structure. And there you go, off to the races. Finished. I think this will definitely be yeah, price came above your TP. And you see how it drew it had gotten 2 points and it started to draw it, but just remember this is the lower time frame, okay? Keep that in mind.
Mhm.
It just keeps scrolling. I think this is great. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited about this one. And let me pause this. Let me show you something I see. All right. So look at this, guys. Boom. Okay. So you see that when it was drawing this one, right? He was like, well, is it really because it came up and pulled back a little bit? Do I get in yet? And it crossed over, gave us a trend line break, and boom. And you're wondering, is it going to continue? But look at the MACD, the strength of the MACD, as well as your ATR is just following it very, 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 very nicely. And it's above your trend line.
Would you wait for price to reach that indicator to show that it's
Which-
above the trend line?
Oh, price to be above here, this trend line right here?
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, no worries, Adam. But yes, that's what we're using it for, because otherwise you don't have to use this one, guys. You can draw your own little trend lines. But it was just I just been like, man, I'll get so tired of drawing my trend lines, because sometimes I'll forget, but I can actually see the break, you know. But sometimes when you're explaining it to people, it's kind of like, you know.
I like the indicators that take away us having to do the manual stuff.
Yes, but I'll always remember that they are indicators, and
Yeah,
so no, but it helps me not to have to do all the work, right? So yes, so this is my trend line, and let me go back. And okay. Oh, SM to G, what? Good morning. I know it's afternoon, but I'm saying good morning anyway.
What's popping? Afternoon.
And who was that? Okay, so I was just showing them a new indicator I found this morning. I mean, you may even want to use this one, but I don't know how often you use trend lines or anything. But if you do, Lux Algo has this fire one. It's just, I think it's great. So let me pop the real one in. So it took these 2 points. Remember, you only need 2 points to make a trend line, 2 or more, preferably. So you got 1, 2. And it's already broken. It's breaking out above the red one. So we're just gonna press play. There you go. So right here at my SGT entry, alligator mouth, MACD, ATR flip, and then later on, if you would prefer, you remember that last one, maybe, but we do see a bit of divergence here. I don't see it down here yet, but that I mean, you know, that obviously 7 oscillators can't be too wrong, so it's probably going to be a bit of a pullback on this one, on this time frame. And so let's see if it starts to pull back any. Yep, a little bit, not major, but it's still staying above your look at that strength of that MACD. Great, beautiful. And it's just hugging that trend line. I mean, yeah. I was like, Lux Algo, it didn't, let me not say nothing, but Manny brought some talent, guys. Manny got some talent here with that's coming on board soon. Man, this Lux Algo. But do y'all, I mean, do y'all like what you see is regarding to these trend lines? I don't know, I'm just so excited about it.
I'm excited with you for sure.
Okay, okay, awesome. Okay, now I'm looking for the sales. Okay. Cause why? Look at this arrow. Haven't really gotten an arrow like that. And if I put it on a higher time frame, I'm pretty sure that this will be an order box somewhere. Yep. Start probably just maybe some pullback, but let's see. Oh, that might be more of a wave on the 5 minute. Or it could be a hardcore reversal. We'll see. Yep. But when your overall order flow and your trends are, buying, we're just looking for another re-entry on the buy side of things. Oh, that one, my EMA wouldn't have been in line, but that PLC would have given me the confidence to get back in, to use it to get back in. And on US 30, that many pips would have been really good. What is that? 15, is that 159? How do you guys count them? I know it depends on your broker. All right. Oh yeah, absolutely, Graham. We'll see you next time. Yep. But yes, there you go. So I'm really digging the trend lines, and so I'm super excited. But I just didn't want to hold off on sharing that one with you because that one was way too good to hold back. Look at
So
that.
263 pips.
200 or 2000. It just like on one of the one that testing software, you have to put what is it? You have to put 200 on U30, but NAS is only like in the 10 pip range or something like that. It's weird. But yeah, so hopefully this trend I'm sorry, hopefully this trend line thing really helps you guys, but give me your feedback on what that looks like and what uh, what you guys did everyone do the quiz? SM, do you want to do the quiz?
Me, no. I thought that was for the beginning.
It's for everybody.
Oh.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Okay, so but yeah, love this trend line. I thought it was super powerful. And if you don't use anything on your charts, this is how it could look for you. I think you could do either one. If on this one right here, if I was just using this one, like I literally see the strategy on this chart right here, without having it up here because I've seen it so much or whatever. But if I wanted to use any other alert, it would be this trend line. And I would just trade it. I would, boom, I would just, yeah, this is fire. On the lower time frame, let's see what it looks like on the higher from this one. Yeah, that was decent. That was okay. Oh, yeah, that's a good entry. Absolutely, 100%. Look at this. Look at this. Yep. It's a winner for me. Thumbs up, it gets a thumbs up for me. So, but yep. Do you have anything you wanted to add, SM? Or questions, concerns, or whatever?
Me, nah, at all.
Any other questions or any other questions, guys?
No, just thank you so much for sharing that. This definitely sets a new outlook and tone for Monday. Definitely going to be helpful. Love this.
Awesome. Very glad to hear that. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jay. Yep. So, yep. Well, if you have any other, SM, do you know if anybody's posted anything about leadership or group or any?
Oh, the leadership session today. No, money. No, I think everything should be back like next week, I think, yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Well, hopefully he's all as well. Do you mind staying on the call after everybody drops? SM?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys Monday.
Thank you, Bridget.
And you're so very welcome, guys. I love you guys, and I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Get some back testing in. Yeah, play around with it, get familiar, read the about script so you can understand the settings. And like I said, once I pinpoint the settings that I want to definitely use, the ones that they have are really good, but if I find something that's even better, I will let you guys know. You're welcome.
Thank you, Bridget. You're going to post this session?
Yes, I am. I sure am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Have a
All right,
great
bye,
weekend, guys. All right. Either Maggie was in the waiting room or not. Let me see. Do you mind jumping back on the call so I don't have to edit it if you don't mind?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Right.